Welcome back, everyone. We're so glad you're here for episode number 2 of our series, and it's called Rooted in Purpose, right? So today's conversation is one it's long overdue. Wait, we met before, right?
We've met virtually
Yeah.
when we were little tiles on a screen.
Yes.
And now we realize that we are real human beings and we have legs. We are in person right now.
We are. I'm glad that we're here again to talk about this and just to open up space, not to talk about productivity or performance, but about presence, because who you are without the applause, the role, or the pressure to prove.
Oh my goodness, what an incredible invitation.
Yeah.
So thank you for reminding us of that. This episode is called Sacred Self, Vows, Voice, and the women that you are, right here, right now.
Yeah.
So if you registered for this episode, you may have received that worksheet. If you did not, don't worry, you're going to be able to tag along and we can send it after. So the purpose of today is to really help surface some of those unconscious beliefs and inner contracts that we carry, but that we don't talk about much, and the ones especially that are quietly holding you back.
Yeah, and depending on where you are in your career, on the verge of burnout, in a season of transition, or just wondering what's next, this space is an invitation to pause, to notice, to come back to you. And before we get started, we're not in our normal setup. So this is my clicker. This is how I'm staying on track. You'll have to forgive me. But I always like to do a quick check-in. How are you feeling today? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like you're working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Or a 5 in the chat if you're living life off the wall. And for my music fans, I know that landed, right? Dolly Parton, did you get that one?
Yeah, I did.
And Michael Jackson. Here we go. Oh, and I also want to point out that because this isn't our normal setup, you leave your questions in the chat. We will get to them as soon as we can. But let's just keep the conversation going right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's start with, I want you to think about when was the last time that you loved yourself without condition or without any expectation. So think about that. When did you love yourself last, not for what you do, but just for being who you are in the here and now? Think about that. And for me, it really took years and years to understand that my worth was not something that was tied to my productivity or to how perfectly I would do things or to how I would perform. And coming to the US was actually kind of a space where I felt the weight of proving myself. I mean, coming from Colombia, there's a baggage that comes with that. And there was a long process of really trying to fit in and trying to prove myself worthy of living in this country with all the legalities that brought. So it was really then when I started to really learn the importance of loving myself.
Yeah. I like that because even when you said baggage, like I'm envisioning you getting off the airplane, right? And you have like one of those wheelie, bags that has your clothes and all your belongings. But I didn't think about like the gravity that it holds, like your cultural upbringing, because it's clearly 2 different cultures.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you be yourself?
Yeah.
And by being true to both,
And you know what, the one thing that I'm still learning, because again, this is an ongoing process, right? But it's really the idea that to love myself, Clara Lucia, as I am, not the achiever, but the women that I hold within, the person, the essence that I have within. And it's really, it has been a beautiful ongoing journey that I'm still on right now.
Yeah, because that's the thing about a journey. It's ongoing, right? A lot of times we think you reach your destination and it's over, but it's not.
Yep.
If I think about that for myself, I just being the first person in my family to go to college, there was pressure to be the example, the suit, the job, the title, all of those things. And that pressure shaped how I saw my value. And it made me believe that rest is softness. And it was a risk. I can remember my grandmother saying, "Are you resting? No, you're being lazy. Like, let's go. Let's get things done." Right. And like, I don't know if you really can understand how I felt in that moment. Like
Mm.
my grandmother's grandmother didn't know how to read. Like she was beaten if she tried to learn to read, right? And for me to have the audacity not to read over summer vacation, to have the audacity to not use a free library card, it's like that type of weight that at the time I carried it as a badge of honor, and I carry it now, but it was like the pressure to perform,
Yep.
to
Yep.
prove, and pressure that I put on myself that this is not enough.
Yeah.
You have to keep going. You
Mm.
have to do better. You have to be better.
Well, and Sophia,
Yeah.
as you say that, the question that pops in my head is
Yeah.
the need to earn your place, that need to prove
Earn.
that you're enough and
Yeah.
good enough to
Yeah.
actually earn that place.
Yeah. That's really tough, right? Especially when I think about my background, I think like my parents, my grandparents, they worked so hard to earn me the spot that I'm in, but I still felt like I had to prove like that wasn't enough. Like I had to keep going. And that was really tough.
So I would like to offer kind of a prompt for our audience, and that is, think about what were some of those unspoken expectations that you absorbed growing up. What did you have to be in order to be seen, to be enough?
I like that. I like that question, because often you don't think about it, right? You just keep going throughout life. Like I'm just going. You never thought like, but what was the pressure?
Correct.
Because you're right. Until we unpack that and really think about what I felt like I had to do, be a good daughter, be a good granddaughter, be a good student. That really shapes who we are and how we show up.
And some of those things are wonderful qualities and traits that make you unique. And some of those things actually become barriers.
Oh, okay.
And can stop you and can limit you.
Okay.
Right? So it's just a good way to discern at one point what of those beliefs stop you from being, stop you from your potential.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like when you said barriers, because for me, it was kind of like these are the parameters. We set this stage for you, right? But if I want to do more, is it okay to do more? Is it okay to show up differently, to have a career pivot? Am I being untrue to myself, or untrue to my parents, or untrue to those expectations? I didn't realize this was going to be so heavy.
Well, heavy and life-giving. I think it's both.
Okay.
Because unless you go through the heaviness, you're not going to be able to uncover what's possible and then feel a little lighter about it too.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So it's a beautiful invitation, which reminds us that there's a concept that we want to introduce today, which is the concept of self-vows. Self-vows. And self-vows are, and I'm going to read it here, because who remembers a lot of stuff nowadays, right? So self-vows are sacred promises to honor who you are, not who you think you have to be.
Okay.
So they are really not about your ego. They are about your freedom from within. So for me, for example, it meant leaving behind the cycles of shame and sacrifice and stepping into self-respect and truth and wholeness from within. So this is really the foundation of conscious leadership. Is leadership that comes from within, not from what is expected or from what others tell you to be. It's yours.
So I guess when you put those two words together, self and vows, I don't know, it gives me pause, because every time I've heard of a vow, it's at a wedding.
It is. and we do them towards the other person.
Yes.
It's an offering from within to the other person. And it's beautiful, right? I mean, it's a beautiful commitment, it's a beautiful promise, it's a pledge of how you're going to be engaging with that person. The invitation today that I want to make to all of you is think about those vows to yourself. Those vows as a gift that you want to yourself.
Now, Clara, what do you say to someone who says that, making vows to yourself, like that's like self-indulgent, like how could leadership require self-focus? Like it's about sacrifice. Like when you talk about conscious leadership and pairing that with vows, like help me put that together better.
Yeah. It is a great question, Sophia. So I've been doing leadership trainings and leadership development for a little while. And what I uncover is that true leadership, and there's a term, it's not mine, it's servant leadership.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes.
Servant
I've heard
leadership
of 'em.
and purposeful leadership really begins with self responsibility.
Okay.
It begins with you,
Okay.
right? And vows to yourself are more than at a way for you to be responsible to yourself so that you can know yourself, respect yourself, value yourself. And then from that place, then you can give to others. You can support to others.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to give from depletion.
No,
You don't want to
no.
give from obligation either. Right? You want to give from a place of abundance, of self-awareness.
Mhm.
And it starts with you. It's putting your own needs, your own validation first, so then you can then give to others from that place.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. You know, it reminds me of what they say on the airplane, right? They say, put your mask on first before
There's a
you help
reason for
others.
it, right? It's not silly, but
Yeah.
again, we hear it,
Yeah.
but this is about, okay, so what does that mean to you?
So then how do you put together vows without feeling silly? You know, making a vow to myself? I don't know. It just,
So what if silliness is part of it?
okay.
What if being silly is
Yeah.
the first step to get curious about what would it be like for you to have a contract to yourself and to create vows that are beautiful, that are kind of inner reminders
Yeah.
to love yourself
Okay.
and to commit to those promises to yourself. So then
Yeah.
you can be that to others as well.
I like that. I like it. I like it. I'm starting to get, getting a little comfortable with it. Because, as I do my work, helping people lead themselves differently, self-abandonment is often disguised as success. You work late nights to get that project across the finish line. Like you automatically give up those late nights. Sure, I'm going to get this project across the finish line. I can vividly remember a work call with my manager, and it went from 7 p.m. to midnight. I kid you not. We started the call. Did you have dinner? Great. Let's move this way. It was energizing in the moment. We were cranking through the formulas, analyzing the outline, perfect deck, but what was the sacrifice? I feel like in hindsight, I should have said, okay, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. Perhaps we should push back on the deadline. I need sleep. Like that's the thing for me in corporate. I felt like why am I being so honest here? I felt like I had to sacrifice in order to succeed. I had to abandon what I needed, my biological need for sleep to get this presentation done. And what did the hard work get me? It set the expectation that I will always do that.
Absolutely.
I can give Sophia and her team a deadline that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
And they will make it happen. And yes, that's some will argue like that's kind of like what the country is built on, but that's self-abandonment. And it's those little things that you start to give up.
Yep.
And it's so funny. Like I had a friend, and she had all these accolades, and she was so accomplished. Good friend, and she's not from the States. Actually, her family is from Mexico. And I said to her, "You did so well. I'm so proud of you." I pulled her aside and I said, "I want to take you to dinner." And she looked at me and she was like, "Sophia, no. Like it's about my family moving forward. It's about, I didn't do this for myself." She looked at me like, "Why would you take me to dinner?" I did it for my family.
Wow.
And it just kind of took me back. Like at first I was hurt. Let me be honest.
You were offering her an acknowledgement, an act of kindness and recognition.
Yeah, but I get it. Like culturally, you want to do something for yourself, right? Something kind for yourself to be proud of who you are and what you've done. But sometimes there's so many other things, so many other pieces of gravity that pull at you without us even realizing.
Yeah, or that tell you that's not okay, right? So I relate to that story because being from Colombia, there are some beliefs that I grew up with, which is it was more about other people and serving other people and taking care of other people. And when it came to you, even to get that gratifying kind of gift or compensation or recognition, whatever you want to call it, it was totally a no, because that was seen as prideful. Right.
Yeah.
But the self vows that we're inviting people to think about include that acknowledgement and include
Yeah.
ways to learn how to receive.
Yeah.
Because for others, like in your example, you were giving and offering that from a place of gratitude and from a place of love, right?
Yeah.
So when we give, we demonstrate our affection for people. And when we say no right away, what we're doing is we're crushing that.
Mm.
So learning to receive is part perhaps
Yeah.
of those self vows that we
Yeah.
can write for ourselves.
Yeah.
The ability to say okay to that gift that we're receiving.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking a little bit about just how do you process that when the world is giving you so many other signals, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of people are saying, you're supposed to sacrifice, you're supposed to be loyal, you're supposed to pay your dues. But to your point, what's wrong with taking a pause and at least appreciating yourself in the moment for saying, hey, you showed up, you put in the hard work, good job.
Would you be okay if I read something
Yeah.
to maybe address that? And in preparing for this is what came up very vividly, right? So this is not about betraying ourselves or others. This is about sometimes we want to question, sometimes we want to challenge and get
Okay.
curious about what something
Yeah.
is coming at
Yeah.
us. And again, it's hard because we've been taught to equate sacrifice with strength.
Mm-hmm.
The more you sacrifice, the better you will be, the more successful you're going to be.
Yeah.
Right. But the real strength that we're proposing here is staying rooted to who you are.
Mm.
Even when the world asks you to perform, to keep going, to sacrifice yourself, that's when the responsibility comes in. That's when you want to stop and get curious about it. How much of this is really true to who I am now? Or how much of this is because of the external world or the external expectation?
Yeah. I like that you said who I am now, right? Because we have grown, we have so many experiences, and we're so textured as humans, as just as Sophia. There's so much now I know than when I did when I was 18 or fresh out of college. And why not take those learnings with me and let that shape or be my compass versus what's around us, right?
And at least what you can do is to try and see how it goes.
Oh,
just try it.
I don't want to write these vows. I'm telling you this now. I'm telling you now. But a lot of times I talk to my clients or when I host workshops about putting together like boundaries to help you be true to yourself, like just small habits. And as soon as I say the word boundary, people lose it. Like their bodies tense up. Oh, wait, because they're thinking of boundaries as like a straight line. Like if you cross this line, there are going to be consequences, right? Even think about it. Like you say that on the playground, you cross this line, I'm going to beat you up, right? But instead of seeing a boundary that way, think about it kind of like as a circle. Like a circle around those things that are important to you and that you care for. And you're protecting those things through your decisions, through the way you show up, through how you take care of yourself. Because if you see it as a circle, it kind of softens that situation. It isn't like take it or leave it. It's like, and the other thing about a circle is a circle. I just thought of the circle. Yes, a circle looks like this, right? But sometimes it's like this, sometimes it bends, sometimes it's flexible. And we need to see boundaries like that.
That's beautiful.
It's like in a relationship to yourself.
That's a beautiful invitation to reframe our approach to circumstances. So you're asking us to consider moving from like a boxy type of shape into a circle.
Yeah.
And I think it's the invitation to write self vows. It's also the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you've seen vows externally to others or towards others, just give yourself to think about it in that circle. And the vows as part of that new shape that you were at least curious to try on.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking about vows. If I look at it in like a wedding ceremony standpoint, you give that other person so much flex and graceability, so much grace and flexibility if they mess up. These vows are not necessarily permanent, right? Because we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We need to be flexible.
Well, what's permanent in life anyway?
Change.
Change. That's a good point. Change. And choice. Right?
Yeah.
It's all part of the process. And at any given point, you can choose to change, or you can choose to be curious. You can choose
Yeah.
to, like, wear that circle and put the little square on the side and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be anything major,
Nope.
just something small, a small micro habit. There's this book I was reading. It's called Everyday Dharma. And they talk about rhythmic renewals and how you plan, how you recharge yourself based on the patterns of the day.
Oh,
Like
it's beautiful.
you're leaning into that energy. So it's kind of like planning for rest instead of like reacting to burnout. And I want us to think about like just a micro habit that you could keep or add to your day to help you shift from like a burnout mentality to more balance. And I'll give you one because you can't ask people questions if you don't know. But caffeine, I run on caffeine. That's how I go, right? But I try to save my caffeine for when I really need to crank through something.
Okay.
And I start my day a little slower with hot water and lemon. It's painful. That jolt of sour, that pucker, woo, it will wake you up. But for me, it gives me the jolt. I'm not a morning person.
Thank you for your honesty.
I'm not a morning person, but it gives me that jolt of energy that I need to keep going. It reminds me like, hey, this is a new day. And I ease into the day. And then that caffeine I save for later on. Because before, it was 9 o'clock and I was 3 cups in. Like, come on, caffeine, let's go.
What I appreciate about what you're saying, Sophia, is sometimes when we hear about change or transformation, we think that they have to be in big movements.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like a before and after right away.
Yes.
And one thing that comes to mind for me is when I have, for example, a full day of, let's say, coaching sessions with my clients, I build quick like reset spaces in between.
Yeah.
And now that it's pretty outside, I go outside to either like breathe fresh air or be under the sun for like 10, 15 minutes or walk to the corner.
Yeah.
So those are like tiny micro moments that you can choose to do a little differently so that you can reconnect with yourself and so that you can be nourishing and tender to yourself.
Yeah. And I want to challenge everyone I want to challenge you to think about that. Like what micro habit can help you shift? And I like that, Clara, you mentioned like letting the sun hit your face or just walking to the corner, because the corner isn't that far, right? It's just, but if you're stuck in an office building, that could be walking to a different floor. That could be going to a different water machine. That could be going to restroom on a different floor or walking to your car and back, but putting movement into your day.
Absolutely.
So high achievers. We are so
high
focused.
Achievers.
That's you?
High achievers. Yeah.
We can learn a lot about being loyal to ourselves first. Because if you imagine, if you pull all of that effort into yourself instead of what we're doing, like the work that we're producing, that just changes. And it reminds me of a client that I had, Maya. She was working 60 hours as a lawyer.
Wow.
And if they put in 60 hours, that means they actually worked a lot longer than that. And she kept telling me, like, I can't slow down. I'm wired to just move fast. I'm wired to keep going. And we talked about exploring things in her childhood that she enjoyed. And she mentioned plucking figs with her grandmother. And she laughed, like, there's no way I can have a fig tree. No, but maybe you could plant a garden. Maybe you could set aside some time to water those plants. And she's finding now that just putting water on those seeds and being kind of like loyal to them helps her be loyal to herself.
Beautiful. Like little reminders.
Exactly. And for her, it feels less of a cultural misalignment because it connects her to her grandmother. It connects her to the earth, to giving back. And hopefully she doesn't waste any water in the process. All right. So self-loyalty is possible in high pressure and high stakes environments. And that example I gave. And I want us to talk about, like, what does that actually look like? And you might be thinking, like, what if your workplace punishes you for slowing down or saying no, right? And again, it goes to those small micro habits. They're little things that you can do for yourself. And maybe those vows would help. I think they would help me, at least stay grounded and understanding what I should and shouldn't do, right?
Yeah. Or what, it comes back to responsibility towards yourself.
Yeah.
Because think about it, if you don't own the way that you show up the way that you come to be to a place of work, if you don't own how you want to show up,
Yeah.
then who?
Management, leadership does.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be owned,
Yeah.
right, by
Yeah.
external expectations.
Yeah.
That's why this work is so important, and that's why the only way to figure it out is to go inward.
Yeah. Oh, but who wants to do that?
It's hard. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I know it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard and it's beautiful. It's
Okay.
hard
Yeah.
and it's possible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's a both and.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's a journey.
Yeah.
And think about there's probably a risk of going inward, right? You may find things that spook you out a little bit, but I think the cost of not doing it will be greater than the risk.
Okay, let me unpack that, because that was a little deep here. Okay,
Mhm.
like I'm seeing myself working those late hours and continuing to work those late hours and working hard. And you know what actually stopped me from burnout? I don't know if I've ever told you this story. Is I was working these crazy hours, and I went to say goodbye to my kids, because of course I left early, and I left
Yep.
home early,
Okay.
returned late, and I looked at my daughter's hair, and I was like, oh my goodness, her hair is a mess.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, well,
Ouch.
I always do her hair. When was the last time I did it? And it was like 2 weeks ago,
Ouch.
because I was so caught up in
Yep.
all of those hours. And I was thinking, once this project is done, I can get
Yep.
off of this hamster
Cycle.
wheel.
Yep.
Yeah. And it didn't happen.
Yep.
And it was that value that I held true to myself. Like, I am committed to being a good mother.
Yep.
I'm committed to showing up. And this, what I'm doing to her hair,
It's not
that is
correct.
not okay.
Well, kudos to you for
Yeah.
one, realizing it, and kudos to you for reorient.
Yeah,
And the
reorienting.
vows are
Yeah.
actually the things that could help you
Okay.
be discerning in a moment like that,
Yeah.
so that you can have something to go back towards or something to reorient towards.
Yeah, no, I like that.
So
I like
what
that.
do you think about talking a little bit about actually writing the vows?
I don't have a pen. You can't make me do it. I don't have a pen.
I know. I'm going to follow up with you on that one. But so we mentioned about, vows being something that we externalize towards other people,
Yeah.
weddings, partnerships, different commitments. So this is about showing up for yourself with the same care, with the same curiosity, with the same willingness. Okay. So I'm just asking you to go into that circle and be a little bit flexible and flow with what I'm going to share. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So the self vows is not about isolation. This is about integrity. This perhaps is a moment of checking in with yourself, because you want to be rooted in your truth and what it means for you to be caring and what it means for you to care for yourself, so then you can care for others better. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a moment perhaps of honesty, a moment of exploration, and a moment of expansion.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So here's a couple of questions that can get us going. Okay. So audience, here we go.
Wait, do they need a pen?
You could bring, good point. You could bring a pen out. If that's too much distraction, just be kind to yourself and ponder and reflect on these promptings. Okay. So what do you vow to your present self? What do you promise to protect, to honor? So imagine standing in front of a mirror, seeing yourself in that mirror and saying to yourself, I promise to honor you. I promise to listen when you're tired, to trust your voice, to forgive your mistakes, especially when things are hard. Isn't that sweet?
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Right?
That's
So think about how many times do we adopt that kind of attitude and demeanor towards others? Children, colleagues, loved ones, our mothers, our parents, right?
Yeah.
And think about how many times do you approach yourself with that same level of tenderness?
Never.
And grace and kindness.
Never.
Right? I just got goosebumps,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
So this is the work that we're inviting all of you to consider exploring.
I love that. I mean, when you read it, it just, you're right. As soon as you read it, I could imagine myself saying it to a niece, to a daughter, to a son, to even a cousin, like,
Yeah.
hey, be patient with yourself,
Yeah.
right? But I'm a high achiever. I never talk to myself that way.
know.
You know how I talk to myself in the mirror? I'm a drill sergeant. Get it together,
Yep.
work harder. We only got 10 minutes. Let's
Yep.
go. That's how I talk to myself.
And that's not wrong.
Okay.
What I'm saying right now
Yeah.
is, how about if we introduce another set of alternatives so that you can pair the two, right?
Okay. Okay.
So it's the bold, it's the strong, it's the power, and that's
Okay.
all wonderful. We need to cheer ourselves up in that way.
Okay.
And we want to slow down. We want to create moments of rest, moments of reflection. And some of those words that I use help you come up with what makes sense to you. This is your customized way, because your vows are different than mine. And to give you an example, this is a little reminder that I have in my office.
Yeah.
And before I start my day,
Okay.
I read them. These are the vows that I wrote for myself. And I have a picture of myself so that I can look at myself and know that I'm talking to that inner wisdom.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Are you going to share them with us?
Would it be okay?
Yeah, because I can only think of, I'm trying to think of what a vow to myself would be.
Okay.
And I know it won't be nearly as eloquent as yours.
But they will be yours. And that's what matters.
Yeah.
So here are my self vows. I vow to be tender to myself, to be sweet to myself, to be loving, to choose rest, to choose slowness, to ask for support and for what I need. I vow to ask for kisses on my forehead, to ask for affirmation, to let my heart guide me, to let my body be my teacher, to let my emotions flow, to hold my name as my purpose, to hold myself in high regard, to hold my light and let it shine into the world.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my, how did you help me set the stage? How did you come up with these vows? Like, did you spend a lot of time looking at like old pictures or thinking about who you want to be? Did you like light candles? Did you like play your favorite song? How did you set the stage?
Great questions. So I've been doing work around my own development for a long time. And one of the big aha moments for me was, I grew up believing that I was unlovable and that I have to earn love. And what I am uncovering is that was the belief that I had then to survive the way that I grew up and the family dynamics.
Okay.
And nowadays, I know that I am lovable and adorable as a right. And I don't have to perform and I don't have to work to earn it. And the first place for me to bring that concept into my belief system is to love myself first. And this was a result of an incredible experience that I have with other beautiful women. Someone else was leading it. And this was part of the process. Before we go out, we need to go in. And there was beautiful music. I get goosebumps as I remember. Beautiful music, scented candles. And in the picture that I have here, I'm holding a rose that was given to me as a token or as a memory. So holding that rose allowed me to nowadays remember, before I go out, I need to go in.
And the rose is so beautiful too, not only because it is fragrant and has a scent, but if you look at the center of a rose, like it has so many layers to it. And that rose that you have on there, it's multicolored. It isn't just, one of those bright red roses. And it just, all of our personalities and our experiences, they make us multi-layered.
Absolutely.
And it brings us to the center of who we are.
And that includes all the shadow parts of us. It's not just the beautiful qualities and what we excel at. No, it includes those shadow parts that perhaps we're not very proud of.
Yeah.
Part of the deal.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Ooh, okay. So I was trying to think of a vow to myself because I knew we were going to have this conversation and I knew you were going to push me, right?
Invite you?
Yes, invite me, invite me. She's inviting me, okay? Is everyone thinking? I don't want any authorities coming here. She did not push me. She's inviting me. And the only one I could think of is I promise to continue to show up.
Okay.
Because I know that, every day the sun won't be out. Sometimes it's raining, but guess what? I'm going to show up. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to show up with an umbrella. I'm going to show up with a laugh. I'm going to show up with burnt popcorn. But guess what? I'm going to show up. Because when I think of vows to myself, I know you had a picture of yourself in that moment, but I see younger Sophia in my mind, and I'm making a vow to her because I feel like she did so much heavy lifting, all of the things. Because that's the thing, when you are a kid and you're experiencing things for the first time, you do the best that you can in that situation. And I'm proud of her for doing the best that she could. And I feel like the least I could do is tell her, you did it. I'm taking the baton now, girl. I'm going to keep showing up because you're awesome.
That's beautiful. That connection with that little girl,
Yeah.
which, by the way, it's still within you.
Yeah.
It's part of your essence, your beingness, right? When we're able to connect in that level, you soften. You become kinder.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not about the yelling. It's about like, let's chat. Let's embrace you.
Yeah.
Let me give you thanks. Right?
Yeah.
It's all those feminine values that we so desperately need right now in the world.
Yeah. And maybe instead of me being a drill sergeant, I can see her talking to me through the mirror, or see myself in that to keep me moving.
So it's both.
Yes. Okay.
It's both.
It is
beautiful.
Both. Man, I wonder, did anyone take a minute to write a vow to themselves? Like, I know you're not going to put them in the chat, but
or why not?
Oh, okay.
If you feel comfortable sharing one vow that comes to mind that you would like to honor moving forward, just share it with us. Yeah. Because you may be inspiring someone else that it's a little hesitant to go there.
No, I like that. I like the inviting. You're so good at inviting people, and I just push them. Like you're rubbing off on me. You're rubbing off on me. You're rubbing off on me. But I like this exercise because it's pushing us to just pause and to reevaluate how we see everything, like through a lens of a lens of what's important to you first, not everyone else. I remember I was complaining to my therapist, all these people are doing these things to me and these are the issues and blah, blah, blah. And she said to me, but what do you want to do? What makes you feel good? And I was like, me? Me? But you're right. Like the relationship that you have with yourself, it sets the tone for every other relationship. And like, this isn't a reset. It's a turn, it's a pivot. And it starts with truth, and it starts with unshakable self-respect.
Oh, I love unshakable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's a powerful word, right?
Yeah.
And at the same way, it gives you the power to choose how to be with yourself.
Yeah.
It's unshakable, right? Like, and think about it. If you're unshakable, no matter what comes your way, you're rooted. And those vows are kind of like those promises that will keep you rooted in that matters most.
Yes, yeah. And when you said rooted, I see the soil, right? The soil has all those nutrients, the things that fill you up. And maybe it's those small habits. Maybe, like you said, it's like the sun, sitting in the sun that keeps you rooted, Oh,
absolutely.
I love again how you read these vows to yourself every day, every morning.
Before I start my day.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever like, let's just say you missed a day or your day got started differently. Do you feel a little off because you're like, hey, I didn't have that connection point?
It's a great point. I feel a little odd, but I don't punish myself for not doing so. And then I said, okay, if I didn't do it in the morning, I can do it right now.
Yeah.
So there's always that element of choice, right? And then I do it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm aligned.
Yeah.
I'm aligned.
Yeah, and I bet you, because you probably do this, you read it all the time. You likely have it memorized.
Yeah, some parts of it.
Okay.
That's why I have paper with me. Because why not? Why am I going to struggle, and why am I going to feel bad about not memorizing, which I was good at one point, but I can have a little help.
You can be human.
I can be bingo.
Yes.
I can be
Yeah.
human.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed our time here.
I did too.
This is awesome.
I did too.
And I want to say that if you're listening and if something stirred something in you, like a nudge, a truth, a moment of recognition, don't let it fade. Like Clara was saying, just write one small vow.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to make total sense.
Okay.
So just give yourself the freedom and the space to just write what's in your heart.
Yeah.
This is not a logical exercise. This is from within. This is from your heart. So let it be.
Yeah.
Just write what comes up to your heart right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that. And I like that we kind of alluded to it, but to me, there's so much power in writing things down.
There is.
Right? Because I mean, how many thoughts? I think I read somewhere there are over like 60,000 thoughts that flood your mind throughout the day, right?
And to add to that, because I have the same statistic that I share with my clients, 70% of those thoughts are negative. This is from psychology, and I don't have the source right now, but I have it because I present that before.
70%?
70% of the thoughts that we constantly have on a day are negative. So think about the impact that writing vows to yourself can do just to your own mindset. It's breaking through that clutter of negativity, and the world certainly is an interesting place right now. Think about how this exercise can really help you reset your mindset.
Yeah, and I would encourage you, once you do come up with that vow, maybe put it in a format that you could put on your phone. Like either like a screenshot of it, or maybe, make some sort of collage.
Yeah.
Because I know those phones are like glued to us, but if you could keep it as like a reminder, like right here near you said you keep it near your computer?
In my office, yeah.
Okay,
in my office,
yeah. Because it's one thing to write it, but you need to continue to connect with it.
Yeah, you need to bring it from here to here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you want to connect more with us to go deeper, I think I mentioned a little bit of this, but the first live that we did, we were at home in our own space, and now we're together. I want to connect with more people. I think maybe we should do this togetherness. I don't know how, I don't know what that looks like, but I don't know, would you be open to that? Or what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I love in person.
Yeah.
I think nowadays technology is wonderful, but there's nothing that replaces this, right? The sense of touch, the sense of like feeling with someone else. So I think we can explore having even a gathering with you all out there in person. So we'll noodle through that and see how that can look like. But we know that we're going to continue to do these, once a month, and we want to invite you to come and chat with us and meet with us so that you can have little moments of light in your life.
Yeah. And, I always enjoy our time together because I feel like just the way you phrase things or the way that you ask me, it just makes me think of it differently. And I know you feel the same way. Like who writes a vow to themselves? You probably saw the title, like Sacred Vows. What is this?
Who is she?
Yeah, but I love this. And, until we announce our next thing, I offer workshops, one-on-one coaching, and it's a space for women who are ready to lead from wholeness and lead themselves differently. Clara, how can they get in contact with you?
So I am on LinkedIn at Clara Lucia. I also have a website, startbreakingthrough.com.
Okay.
And those are the two best ways to do it. But if there's someone that is struggling right now, if you are not finding any hope out here in your mindset, reach out. I offer a space to talk, and it doesn't have a cost to have just a conversation. So reach out.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Or you're not as alone as you think you are. How about that?
And how about this? If you have a friend who's annoying you and you're like, or you feel like this could apply to, send it to her or send it to him, because I think this conversation really needs to be more like, it just needs to be abundant. We shouldn't just have it behind closed doors in a whisper. It needs to be closer to all of our hearts. You can find me here on LinkedIn, Instagram, Gearing Together. And I'm working on a YouTube channel. I don't know. It's coming soon, but it's coming. So you'll get more of this here.
It's beautiful.
There.
Beautiful. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Would it be okay if I close with a little thing that I think could set us
for
pretty
success?
Please. Okay. So the reason why this kind of work is important, and to go inward and to reconnect with what it's important to you, is because when we are full with love from within,
Yeah.
we can then truly love others freely, deeply, and without condition. So, sell vows.
I love that.
Mm.
I can't follow that up.
No.
We'll
This
see
was
you
sweet.
next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God. Okay.